Hello everyone, it's Heidi Smith here, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from the United Kingdom. You can find me as Flutter by Heidi as well. And today I'm back with another of the playing with patterns and pattern play items that I shared recently, my sweet inspiration. So this is a really great suite of patterns that will go with lots of other stamp sets, but I'm focusing on how you can make a suite work like this when actually you haven't got very much else. So you might just have started out and a good way to start out when you're stamping is to buy a suite of products because you know they're going to coordinate. So I'm going to use some of this paper, which is the pattern play, playing with patterns paper. As you can see, lots of dots and stripes, lovely soft colours with sort of purple posy and a bit of calypso coral in there, night of navy, Bermuda Bay in there. I think it's Bermuda Bay. I'll double check. Is it Bermuda Bay? No, crushed cabana. Yes, but that bit brighter. But you see lots of different colours in here, and that sort of lovely crushed curry sort of colour that you've got there. This almost looks like candles, I think. It's lovely. That's the paper I'm going to use now, and the patterns that are in the DSP are reflected in the stamps that you've got, and are lots of fun. So this is the card we're going to make, and you can see on the card that actually I've used some of the ribbon. It comes in a ribbon trio, so you get this lovely purple posy ribbon. You get this ribbon here, and you've got the Night of Navy ribbon, and these are the patterns that come in the stamp set. And you can see that actually the dots, you can line up the dots and the circles if you want to make some coronavirus images. You may or may not want to do that, and you can see you've got hearts, outlines, infills as well, and then other patterns that coordinate, and they the die set that is part of this suite is the fabulous playful alphabet, which you can see has doubles of certain letters. So your vowels are doubled up, some other ones like R's, S's, T's, those ones that you can put through happy in one go through your die cutting machine. And then, so I've used some of that lovely sort of ribbon, lovely soft ribbon that ties beautiful bows. I've added some of the resin dots, you can see here, three sizes of dots in 3 colours. And then I've used various ones of the patterns to create some of my own kind of effect of DSP, a little border, as well as the accent images. And in the large image, cue the confetti. So let's get started with our card. Try and clear some of the debris. Oh yeah, probably need to turn that paper over. So you're going to start out with a standard card base. So this is 10.5 by 29 scored at 14.5, or 4 1/8 by 11.5 scored at 5 3/4. I'm then using a piece of purple posy again that is 10.5 by 10.5 centimetres, which is 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. And then I've got a piece of DSP that is again 10.5 by 8.5, and that is 3.5 inches by 4 1/8. So that's going to be our layer onto our card. But before we do, as you can see, looks nice enough with that wide border, but by adding some stamping onto each edge, you can really you can sort of have a bit more fun with that as well. Now it's a photopolymer stamp, so you won't be surprised for me to say grab your stamping pierce mat and use that as well. And actually, as well as because we haven't got the purple posy ink, Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape go fantastically with this colour palette. So I'm just going to use the Highland Heather on this, and obviously it is square, so it doesn't matter which way, which edge we do this on, but I'm just going to repeat stamp along those edges. And obviously you could use any of the images really, but it just adds a bit of interest to just add some accent stamping to that. I'm then going to stamp my DSP with my sentiment, and I'm using my Gorgeous Grape for this. On this one I used the Night of Navy, but I thought it'd be rather nice to go down this bottom corner with my gorgeous grape. So, now the next bit of stamping I'm going to actually do direct onto my card. So there's two things that I'm going to do here. First of all, I'm actually going to measure up on here. So if you think I'm going to sort of, I actually measured to about 10. This is going to sit at about, I just want to mark where this is going to sit. So if you're wondering what I'm pithering about at. So I'm just going to put a couple of marks. So that is about 3.5 centimetres. So if you mark down at 3.5 centimetres, and what I'm actually then going to do is pop my ruler across, and I'm going to then stamp my strip image. So adding my ruler, and I'm just using this image here. So I'm just popping that. I'm going to use my gorgeous grape. So that's just to give me something to help line up. Now, the other thing I could do is use my Stamparatus for this. That's a perfect way to do it. But you may not have a Stamparatus, but that's just a quick way when you're doing a little bit of simple repeat stamping to do it. So purple gorgeous grape away, and I'm just bringing in my Highland Heather here, and I want to stamp up to this line here, but what I don't want to do is go over onto the back of my card. So out comes a good old post-it note, and I do have various sizes of these. As you've seen, these big ones are really useful, and then I'm just going to repeat stamp across the top there, like so. So now to have a look at some of our assembly that we want to do. So I want to make a nice floppy-ish bow, and I've just got this little gadget here to make my bow, which is really easy, just a couple of pieces of doweling. So to make a kind of double floppy bow, all I do is my ribbon, I just wrap it round a couple of times. It's because I can't do it with my fingers. So once I've kind of got around about the right length, snip that off. I just find it makes it easier. So I've wrapped it round twice. So on each side I've got 2 loops. And all I'm going to do then is just pop that around and up through the middle. And just bring that to around about the middle. Pull that off. And that gives me a kind of floppy-ish bow. This one's a bit smaller than the one I had before, but that's fine. Then just pull my tails down, and I've just kind of got a nice double bow. I find I just use those pieces of doweling just because it helps me with keeping them a little bit more even. The next thing I'm going to do then is layer up my card, layers, even, and just popping a bit of Stampin' Seal on the back of the DSP here, and add that to the front there. Then I'm going to, just above where my Cue the Confetti is, I'm going to add my ribbon. So I find it easy, add a bit of glue and then add the ribbon just above where I want it to be, but just by putting a little bit of glue on the back there to hold it in place. And I find that an easier way of adding my bow than by trying to tie it around the front. So then just add a glue dot to the back of the bow and add it to the front of the card. Probably should have put my adhesive on the back first. That would probably be a good idea. In fact, I might actually, I'm going to pop that up on some dimensionals. Add an extra layer of interest. It's gone really dark outside now. Don't like these dark days, no matter the rest of you, but I certainly find it's not conducive. Although today's been a quieter day in the house, I have to say. Yesterday was a nightmare. I've got my eldest lad at home. Moved home because of having to work from home during lockdown, and where he was living, he just couldn't. So I've got two more adults in the house. Well, I've got my two boys in the house, and hey, you know, it's like having stags. Too much testosterone. So there's a few arguments going around. I get stressed. Then they've made up, and I'm still wound up about it. Oh, that's my problem. Anyway, there we go. So, having added my dimensionals, I think actually I'm really pleased I've done that, because it's just lifted it slightly. And now I can have a look at where my tails lie on my bow, and I can just trim those. So they fall nicely. And as quick as that, there you have a couple of really pretty, fun cards using purely the DSP and the stamp set that comes in the suite. So have fun, enjoy playing. I think it's a lovely stamp set, and one that certainly is more challenging to use initially if you don't use it with other things, but can create, oh, and what I haven't done, can create some lovely things. And what I haven't done, there's always something I miss. I'm going to add my resin dots. So just add some of these dots just in the centre up there. And you know what, I might even add a couple of extras. I haven't used some of these Crush Curry ones, so I'm going to use some of those in some of these little gaps as well. Add a bit more texture. Texture is good, and 3s and 5s. So you know, I know you know this already, and many of you. Odd numbers. So in nature, it's usually odd. It's usually odd numbers. So 3s and 5s just are more pleasing to the eye. There we go. A bit of fun. Thanks for watching. Enjoy, and come back and see me again soon. And please hit the subscribe button. It really does make a difference to me to see people subscribing, but also because it means you get notified when I upload another video. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.